The blade he used was sharp enough to slice through flesh. One twitch of the hand. All the same, she couldn't drag her eyes away as he scraped the cut-throat razor down his cheek. In its own way, it had an eroticism to it, transporting her to a bygone time when men had been men, and Helios was all man. If he had wanted, he could snap his fingers and an army of courtiers would be there to do the job for him. But that wasn't his style. The Kaliakis family were direct descendants of Ares Patakis, the warrior whose uprising had freed Agon from his Venetian invaders over 800 years ago. Agon princes were taught how to wield weapons with the same dedication with which they were taught the art of royal protocol. To her lover, a cut-throat razor was but one of many weapons he'd mastered. She waited until he wiped the blade on a towel to clean it before speaking again. "Do I take it that, despite all my little hints, you haven't put a space aside for me tonight?" Her little hints had taken the form of mentioning at every available opportunity how much she would love to attend the royal ball that was the talk of the entire island. But she hadn't seriously expected to get an invitation. She was but a mere employee of the Palace Museum, and a temporary employee at that. And it wasn't as if they would be together forever. She thought with a strange stab of wistfulness. Their relationship had never been a secret, but it hadn't been flaunted either. She was his lover, not his girlfriend, something she had known from the very start. She had no official place in his life, and never would. He placed the blade back to his cheek and swiped, revealing another line of smooth olive skin. "However much I adore your company, it wouldn't be appropriate for you to attend." She pulled her face, inadvertently cracking the mask around her mouth. "Yes, I know. I am a commoner, and those attending your ball are the creme de la creme of high society." "Nothing would please me more than to see you there, dressed in the finest haute couture money can buy. But it would be inappropriate for my lover to attend the ball where I'm to select my future wife." The deliciously warm bath turned cold in the beat of a moment. She sat up. "Your future wife? What are you talking about?" His reflected eyes met hers again. "The underlying reason for this ball is so that I can choose a wife." She paused before asking, "Like in Cinderella?" "Exactly." He worked on his chin, then wiped the blade on the towel again. "You know all of this." "No," she said slowly, her blood freezing to match the chills rippling over her skin. "I was under the impression this ball was a pre-gala do." In 3 weeks, the eyes of the world would be on Agon, as the island celebrated 50 years of King Astreos' reign. Heads of state and dignitaries from all around the world would be flying in for the occasion. "And so it is. I think the phrase is, 'killing 2 birds with 1 stone'." "Why can't you find a wife in the normal way?" And speaking of normal, how were her vocal cords performing when the rest of her body had been subsumed in a weird kind of paralysis? "Because, Matekamu, I am heir to the throne. I have to marry someone of royal blood. You know that." Yes, that she did know. Except she hadn't thought it would be now. It hadn't occurred to her, not once, not while they were sharing a bed every night. "I need to choose wisely," he continued, speaking in the same tone he might use if he were discussing what to order from the palace kitchen for dinner. "Obviously, I have a short list of preferred women, princesses and duchesses I have met through the years who have caught my attention." "Obviously," she echoed. "Is there any particular woman at the top of your short list, or are there a few of them jostling for position?" "Princess Catalina of Monte Cleure is looking the most likely. I've known her and her family for years. They've attended our Christmas ball since Catalina was a baby. Her sister and brother-in-law got together at the last one." He grinned at the scandalous memory. "Catalina and I dined together a couple of times when I was in Denmark the other week. She has all the makings of an excellent queen." An image of the raven-haired princess, a famed beauty who dealt with incessant press scrutiny on account of her ethereal, royal loveliness, came to Amy's mind. Waves of nausea rolled in her belly. "You never mentioned it?" "There was nothing to say.